Imagine a cold, damp night on the edge of the Roman Empire. Torches burn low along the wooden palisade, and the air smells of wet leather, smoke, and iron. Marcus, an ordinary legionary, walks alone across the camp, his boots sinking into the muddy ground. He has been summoned to the general's tent, the heart of power in this rough frontier fort. Outside, guards stand stiff and silent, their shields catching the orange glow of fire. Marcus is tired, his muscles aching after a long day of patrol, but he straightens his shoulders. You do not walk into a general's tent with casual steps. As he reaches the heavy canvas flap, he hears something that does not belong in a Roman camp at night, a small, broken sob. Not a soldier's groan, not a man's cry. A child. He pauses, frowning, hand on the tent rope. Another soft whimper cuts through the muffled voices inside. In that moment, without knowing it, Marcus is standing exactly on the line between duty and a story that will change his life forever. To understand why that cry matters, you need to know who Marcus is, and where he stands in Rome's world. He is nobody important, a farmer's son from a dusty village in Latium, swallowed by the legions for pay and bread. He has marched across mountains, slept in the snow, watched men die on spears and under hooves, and still he is just one more helmet in a long line. Above him stands General Aulus Verus, a man whose name is whispered in both fear and admiration. Verus commands 3 legions on this dangerous frontier, where restless tribes on the other side of the river wait for any sign of Roman weakness. Rumors say Rome is tired, the Senate divided, enemies watching. That is why the general has called a midnight council, orders, strategy, maybe a new campaign at dawn. Marcus expects to be told to carry messages or lead a small patrol. He does not expect secrets. He does not expect children. But the empire is built on things soldiers never see: treaties, hostages, hidden alliances, and sometimes, those invisible lines are tied to very real, very fragile lives. Marcus pushes aside the tent flap, and the smell of oil, parchment, and sweat washes over him. Inside, a large map lies on a table, covered in small metal figures marking legions and enemy tribes. The general stands over it, armored chestplate catching the light, jaw clenched. Around him, officers argue in low, tight voices. No one notices Marcus at first. That crying sound comes again, from a shadowed corner behind a stack of supply chests. As the general's sharp gaze finally lands on him, Marcus salutes, expecting to be dismissed or commanded. Instead, Verus points to the corner. You, he says quietly, see to that. Marcus steps closer and his breath catches. On the ground lies a young girl, no more than 12, her dress torn, one leg bandaged with bloody cloth. Her brown hair is tangled with dust, her face pale but stubborn, eyes following every movement in the tent. Around her neck hangs a golden amulet stamped with an eagle and laurel wreath, an imperial symbol. Not a slave. Not a camp follower. Not an ordinary child at all. When Marcus looks up, the general's expression is cold and tired, but there is something else in his eyes, fear, and a kind of hidden guilt. The truth comes out in fragments, dropped like stones. The girl's name is Livia. She is not just any child. She is the daughter of a powerful senator in Rome, sent to the frontier as a guest and quiet hostage to guarantee her father's loyalty. On the road, bandits, or perhaps hired blades from an enemy tribe, attacked her convoy. Most of the escort died. Livia escaped with a single wounded guard, who dragged her toward the camp before collapsing. By the time they reached the outer ditch, the guard was dead and the girl half-conscious. If word spreads that Rome cannot even protect the children of its own elites, enemies will smell weakness. If her father hears his daughter was lost in some muddy province, his rage could tear apart alliances in the capital. So the general makes a ruthless decision: the council will continue, the legions will move at dawn, and only a few men will know Livia is here. Marcus is told to guard her, keep her alive, and keep her invisible. But outside the walls, the same men who attacked her convoy are still out there, searching for the one witness who could expose who hired them, and inside the camp, not every Roman is loyal to Rome. Through the long night, Marcus fights a different kind of battle. He brings Livia water, cuts his own cloak into strips to strengthen her bandage, and listens as she forces out short, stubborn sentences. She has seen one of the attackers' faces. She has heard a name, a Roman name, spoken in the chaos. Someone in the Empire wants her dead. When shadowy figures appear near the tent and a knife cuts silently through the back canvas, Marcus moves on instinct, tackling the intruder and spilling blood on the map-stained floor. By dawn, the general stands over two bodies, one barbarian scout, one Roman auxiliary with a purse full of unfamiliar coins. The message is clear. Rome's enemies are not only across the river, some sit in marble houses far away. Livia survives, carried away in a covered wagon with a strong escort, back toward the city whose politics nearly killed her. Marcus returns to the muddy line of shields, just another soldier again. But for the rest of his life, he will know something most people never see, how the fate of empires can quietly rest in the shaking hands of a wounded child, and how one simple legionary can stand between her and the darkness for a single, crucial night.